Tommy Sivell, everybody. Let's come into his world. Come on in. Today's special guest, we're going to be interviewing Tommy Sivell. How exciting!
Welcome to my crib.
So,
I normally show people in their fridge, don't they? I don't TV.
What have you got in the fridge?
We've got a bit of...
Battery's gone.
Save it, save it.
We're good.
We are good. Do you want to give it the old chlamydia?
Chlamydia?
The clap? Right, so welcome to today's MagChats. I'm going to start calling these MagChats.
MagChats?
Is that, it's like
yeah, no, I like that. Yeah,
MagChats,
yeah, MagChat. Naughty.
So, yeah, we've got Tom. You will have seen Tom on the channel before. We work together as part of Handmade Media, which is our company, shoot weddings together. And Tom is a videographer, filmmaker, and we're going to get to know him. That's what we're going to do. So, first of all, can I compliment you on your coffee?
You certainly can.
Every time I come round your gaff and you offer me a coffee, it's like walking into some sort of artisan-y South American coffee shop.
It's all down to my girlfriend. She's the one that picks it all. She's actually, little backstory for you. She's of Italian heritage, so she's got Italian. Mum and dad were born in this country but speak fluent Italian. Their mum, whatever, mums and dad. But they drink. I think it's in something called a maganette. So it's like a small. I've got one on there. I'll show you after. And it's they do Italian coffee, and it's like these tiny small coffees.
Oh yeah.
I need to get one for you because I know like you're a coffee connoisseur, but oh my god, it's like rocket fuel. Oof. Like it blows your head off.
Yes, I love that.
I'll get Joe to make one next time you're here and Joe's in. I'll get her to make one.
Have you ever tried a Turkish coffee?
No.
Jesus, that is strong. It's like it's famously got all this sediment in the bottom of the espresso. It's that strong. It's like stronger than any espresso I've ever tried. Ooh. So yeah, maybe it's similar to that. It's like you try it and it's like a sip is too much.
I'm actually a decaf drinker. I don't drink proper coffee. I get too addicted and I end up having the jitters and I can't sleep, and so I drink decaf. So when I've had those, like the Italian one, when I go to Joe's Nan's or whatever, yeah, it's just rocking. Like you'll come home and find me just hanging on the seat on the light in the living room at like 3 in the morning. Joe will come down. You're right, babe? Yeah, babe, I'm wicked.
I'm fine, right? Just leave it.
But yeah, because I know you don't drink decaf.
We do have decaf in the house, and Laura just tricked me.
Well, I was going to say, I feel we'll get a little test on at the end, and I'll get you a decaf and a regular.
Because I think I can tell the difference.
In taste?
In taste.
Okay, well...
It's something that just hits you.
Skip to the end of this video, and we'll test him, and we'll see.
This is the real heart and soul of this interview. Is
scrap, yeah. You don't need to get to know me at all.
Yeah, scrap the next 3-hour chat. Yeah. It probably won't be 3 hours, but... so, let's chat a bit about you then. So, we first met on a video shoot of you in a band, and we were shooting your music video.
Yeah, my band, so that would have been like...
2011?
11, 12, something like that.
10? 11. I think it was 2011.
Yeah, about 2011. Yeah, Mag was, what, Andy? Mag, I'll call him Mag.
I get everyone, apart from, basically, right, after I was 18 and I went off to uni and basically left Bromsgrove, I introduced myself as Andy. Because I didn't want to be called... I've been Mag and Maggie and Maggers. I shouldn't have told you like that, but I've been that all my life to a lot of my friends, my local friends. So I just can't be bothered explaining why I get called Mag. I know it's because it's the first syllable of my surname, but I just prefer to be called Andy.
Yeah, Mag.
But you call me Mag because at the time, I was a Mag then.
Yeah.
And anyway, go on.
Yeah. What was I saying?
I don't know.
I can't remember what I was saying.
So yeah, you're on a...
Yeah, video. So yeah, we were shooting a video. Andy, Mag, was an you weren't an extra, you were it was like a performance video when I was in a band. And then Mag was the character that the video was based around. And yeah, that feels like forever ago now.
So...
Made me feel old.
Was that you had an EP out, didn't you? The band was doing quite well.
Yeah, it was like, we had an EP out. I was in a band called Romans.
You're still in my phone as Tom Romans.
Tom Romans.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And yeah, it was just great fun, just having a load of fun with my mates, jumping in a van, playing all over the country.
That's awesome. Did you ever go abroad or anything, or was it just you?
We nearly had some gigs in Spain, and then it never happened. That's probably The only, I wouldn't even call it a regret. I just wish we'd have got the chance to go and play abroad. But other than that.
So where did the band get featured? Did you go? What did you get?
Kerrang, BBC Introducing. We got loads of coverage online and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
It was great. Yeah, I keep burping. God.
Is it the coffee?
It's the nerves.
It's the nerves.
It was great, and it sort of paved the way into an understanding. I saw people making music videos for my band, and I was like, these are wicked. And then the band took a break for a bit, and then we started again, but with a few different members, and I shot our videos, and I shot them on a Sony NEX. Is it NEX5? I think it was. It's like a proper starter camera,
which is a good camera though. It's 1080.
Oh yeah, it's like Don't get me wrong, it's a great camera. In fact, I'm going to send Mag an image.
Yeah.
I'll dig it out, and for a video that we did, I created because I just didn't know what I was doing, a light to put on top of the camera.
Brilliant.
And I used some bog roll as the...
Mate, I've got to see this!
I used some bog roll, and then I used my dad's head torch, and I strapped it all to the camera. Remind me in a bit, and I'll
dig it out. Barn doors?
Yeah,
so you made your own light modifier?
Yeah.
I've got to see this, man.
For the video. In fact, I'll send him the image of that, and then I'll get him to tag the music video that we shot, and it was all shot by us in one night, and the camera basically moves around the room, and we're playing the instruments, and then the camera would move, so like you'd have a member here, a member here, a member here, a member here. The camera would be shooting here, and then it'd pan left, and it's the next member, then right, next member, like that. But every time it panned to the person, we were jumping behind the camera and swapping clothes, and I'll tag the video, I'll get him to put the video below, and you'll see it. Terrible.
Is that something biblical?
No, it was a song called, it was off an album that we released called Bet, the song was called. BET, it was named after my nan. I'll show you. I'll get him to show you.
I imagine being in a band forces you, because you're so on a budget, and I'm guessing that back in those days, the four of you, it was four of you, four-piece band?
Four of us.
I'm betting you weren't lawyers and accountants, and I bet you weren't...
we all had, that was kind of why it came to a stop, because it was so expensive, and I wanted it to become a career choice and a hobby, and it's just not a viable...
No.
It was at a time when me and my girlfriend were saving for a house, and it was, oh babe, I just need to dump $1,000 on this tour, we're going on tour, and we've got to pay this much, and it's just, so... Yeah,
I can imagine it. And I suppose it forces you to become creative if you want to do some promo for yourself.
Yeah, well that was it, it was like, well, Tom's got a camera.
Yeah.
And we can't, when the first version of the band were going around, we were throwing masses of money. We were spending thousands of pounds on a video shoot, and then money for PR to get us in magazines. Because people see you in the magazines on the radio, and they're like, oh, that's brilliant. But 9 times out of 10, you're paying to be there.
Yeah.
So it was great. I loved it. I still play a little bit now, but nothing serious because it's so time consuming. We used to practice every Wednesday and Sunday religiously.
Yeah.
We were really on point, but I just don't have that time to do it anymore, or the money really.
Yeah, fair enough. I remember one thing. So we basically, since the day we met, it sounds like some sort of love story, but we went and watched a few football matches together and stuff, and then we sort of lost touch for, I don't know, 4 years or something.
Yeah.
And obviously through the magic of Facebook, I'd obviously keep in touch and see what you were doing. You were doing some acoustic, unplugged stuff in some big warehouse space that you had. Was that through a family member or something you were able to get? And basically you were shooting music.
Yeah, so we were basically, it was a warehouse space owned by my granddad, and I just, again, that famous first camera, I've grown up in a town. It's really weird because I'm not proud of where I'm from. I don't know, it's weird. I'm not proud of where I'm from, but I'm proud of the people that I know from this place.
Are you allowed to say where you're from because you just said that statement?
Yeah, I'm from Kidderminster. I'm sure at one point Kidderminster had the 3rd highest incest rate in the UK.
Oh my god!
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Let's have a look at your fingers.
Yeah,
you've got 11.
Web toes and all that. But yeah, there's some incredible people that I've been fortunate enough to grow up with that have gone on to do massive stuff. I went to a pub where I met my girlfriend, and that was our local pub. And in my age group and my sort of, I wouldn't necessarily say friend circle, but in my circle of, I went to the same pub and drank with a guy called Dom, who is the lead singer in a band called Superfood. They're massive, all play all over the UK, all over Radio 1. I've got a friend called Clark, one of my like really close friends, Clark, who's now Atticus Lowe, who's again all over the place. So
and he was on The Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been in LA recording his album.
No way.
Yeah, he's killing it. Such a talented guy. And then one of my best friends, Fraser, he does PR for 1965 and. No, not 1975. 1975, sorry.
Yeah.
That's not my dad. 1975.
That was their dad's
I've got a friend called, I've got a friend called G. She works in London. She's killing it. Works at, I think it's Sony BMG doing all... Like, I grew up with so many talented friends in this small circle. Like, my friends from the band and everything. And yeah, I grew up in this really cool town. Like, a really cool time. I've got a friend called Luke Brandt, who's an incredible singer-songwriter. I've got a friend called Steve, who plays in a band called Heart of a Coward, who are massive, played at main stage at Download. Like, they're huge. And I grew up at a time when creativity was like, it was wicked, just a wicked time to sort of, and all of, growing up around all these like creative people sort of makes you have to always step your game up and yeah.
And because you're from a very working class place, you're from a community of very similarly minded people, it forces you to be creative. And I suppose because of the 90s and the noughties, there was a boom of technology, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
then you could start filming your mates, you could start filming yourself, and you could start self-promoting.
Yeah, because I went to uni to study like music production, and nothing to do with, and like the introduction of technology and stuff like that was mad for me. Again, I met really talented people there. That was how I formed the band. I met a guy there who played guitar, Ben, his name is one of the best guitarists I've ever. Such a crazy guy. He's so disorganised and so...
Typical artist.
Yeah, like he's literally, and yet put a guitar in front of him and it's unbelievable the stuff he can do. I'm just very fortunate I've got a lot of much more talented friends than me. I've almost been dragged to try and claw my way to try and be even...
You probably dragged yourself though.
Yeah, like try and just be even a smidge as talented as my friends.
Yeah.
And it's been wicked. It's been
and
it's
really good
cool...
to carve a path for yourself, isn't it? You know, no disrespect to, let's say, 9-to-5 jobs, but growing up as you did with your mates and getting inspiration from them, that's all you need, isn't it?
Absolutely. Like I've only just come out of 9-to-5 work. I'm still in it to a certain degree. I still do it 3 days a week. But yeah, working around these kind of people and being around these kind of people sort of made me want to make my way into...
So the Clark who you mentioned, I remember seeing him in one of these When in Rome sessions, which is something you devised.
That's what we started talking about, and I've somehow gone off on such a crazy tangent.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically was a friend of mine. So I got all these local friends, and I was like, look, I've got this idea, I've got a camera, I've got a microphone, I've got a laptop. Let's put some stuff out and get it online. A bit more exposure for you. I don't want any money for it. It's just something for me, for my own creative like juices. I want to, you know what I mean? So. And
we're talking like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It's
2000 and. I'm trying to think if it was before I met you.
It was about 2013, so I remember watching some of the videos.
Oh, really? So yeah, it would have been just after about 2013 then?
I lived in London when I was watching it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, right, okay.
I did 18 months in London.
So we, basically it was a big space and it was a warehouse unit. It was just empty. My granddad owned it. It was never being used for anything. So I was super fortunate to have that space.
Yeah.
That wasn't something that I was just lucky that it was there. And I thought I can use this. Let's make something of it. So I literally stood a microphone in the middle of the room, sat the performer, the artist on a stool, or if they wanted to stand. It was one live audio feed into the microphone, and then me filming. You can hear my feet shuffling at times.
Yeah.
And we just recorded. It was one. I don't even know what the light was. It's basically this huge.
Like a security light.
I think it was a light that was supposed to go on the roof.
Yeah.
And the only problem with it had a yellow bulb in it, and I knew nothing. Well, I still don't really. I wouldn't have known a great deal of what to do with it anyway, but I was like, well, sod it. So because of the way it was positioned, I used to turn it on and just stand it behind the person that was performing.
Oh, was it one of those big things that you could angle 45 degrees?
And it just sort of created this light, and then from there, the rest was sort of, I just let my friends, their talent sort of did the rest, really.
No, because I remember watching some of them back and thinking, it's such a cool concept just to photograph your mates. And
Yeah. I've had a lot of people say, oh, we need to do those again, and I really want to do them again, but I don't have that space at my disposal anymore. And I feel like that space was a massive part of the video.
Yeah.
The acoustics were so brilliant. I feel like until I know somewhere where I can use a space similar to that again, I don't want to dabble with them again. But I'm definitely going to look into redoing some more of those for sure.
So in terms of what you do now, do you label yourself as a filmmaker, videographer, video guy, photographer? What do you
I'm
label
pretty
yourself?
sure, like my Instagram bio, to be like a millennial, I'm sure it says just another camera guy.
Yeah.
Just another dude with a camera.
Just like the rest of us.
Another
Yeah.
dude with a camera. I'm not. Yeah. I just like to film cool shit.
Yeah.
Or just photograph stuff and make it look cool. I'm not a professional. I'll never class myself as a professional. I don't feel like I deserve the title of something like a professional. Just someone that really enjoys it.
So what do you think you have to do or to be to call yourself a professional? Do you think it's one of those je ne sais quoi?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't
put
want to
your
be
finger
like a wah and like have my little violin out here. But I just feel like, I don't know, I didn't study any form of photography or videography. It's something that I picked up as a hobby, loved doing it, and it's just a hobby that's...
I've got a real problem with that P word. The pro, the professional. Because I used to send out emails to people. I don't know why I've literally just sent out an email.
Oh God, I'm steamed up again.
I used to send out emails and say, my name's Andy, I'm a professional photographer and blah, 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 blah. And now when I think back to it, I think I'm way better now than I was.
Yeah.
And now I wouldn't dream of introducing myself as a professional
Hi,
photographer.
I'm a pro.
Exactly, because I think it comes off very arrogant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, being a pro or being professional isn't just that you use your camera and take pictures or make images or movies for people. It's more than that. I think it's about your experience, what you are, your attitude more than anything.
Yeah.
So if we give a football analogy, and I know you're probably just thinking, oh God, not another football analogy.
You are the lads!
Let's take, for example, David Beckham.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, David Beckham is...
a national treasure.
Not only that, probably he's known all over the world.
Yeah.
And because of the football was what made him the brand he is. But he was never the best footballer, no matter what anybody says. But he was always, from all accounts, the first to train and the last to leave.
Yeah.
And he perfected his craft until nobody did it better than him, which was landing that ball on a sixpence.
Yeah, and no one's done it better than him to this day.
And obviously he earned what he earned and he did what he did, blah, blah, blah. But to me, a professional is someone that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Again, did you see a bit of promo done by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
The other day he said
He's so good, isn't he?
Could have made it as an NFL quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, and I got an injury which made me, I couldn't do it. And he said, the reason that I am what I am and I do what I do now is because every room I went in, I was the hardest worker.
Yeah.
In it. And I didn't stop until I got, and he still has got that about
He's
him.
wicked, yeah, he's great.
He's really inspiring, isn't he? You can laugh at him all you want, and he is a funny dude, but it's true, isn't it?
No, absolutely, yeah. It's
You've got to work hard.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I just don't like, I would never class myself as a pro. I think it's a weird term and I don't like it. And yeah, like we were just talking about, like the whole Carl Taylors of the world and stuff like that. I think they sort of pride themselves on being a professional photographer. I'm just someone that loves doing it. Yeah. And if I can make a living from doing it, isn't that, to me, that's like the dream. Yeah. Being paid to do something you love to do is kind of like, and that's why when I come home and I've got like I'm in the middle of a massive wedding edit at the moment of a video, I enjoy it. Yeah. So it's not a problem to go sit in the office for 10 hours at a time. Yeah, obviously I want to be out doing stuff, probably filming more stuff to be honest, but if I've got to sit for 10 hours and do it, at least I'm doing it on something I enjoy doing. So that was kind of the goal. And then sort of my girlfriend, when I was toyed, I was like, I reckon I'm getting so much work here, I could possibly switch to maybe part-time and go part-time freelance. She was so supportive and she was like, well, why not do it? Yeah. Imagine working in something you love doing. So yeah, that was kind of... I know a lot of photographers that say they try and get everything right in camera as much as they can. They add filters, they, add this, take away that, blah, blah, blah. Because they want to spend less time in front of the computer and more time out. And you don't have that luxury though as an editor, because you're probably, for every hour that you spend
filming, it's probably another hour or 2 hours in the editing suite.
Yeah, I think that's like a...
So you have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Like the difference with photo and video, the edit for me for video is brutal in comparison to... When I say brutal, I mean it's far more... We were talking when we were setting up this afternoon, there was a smudge on the lens.
Yeah.
And I was sort of saying to Andy, you cannot, in video, it's just... You can't do it because your footage is wrecked.
If it's there all day and you didn't notice
That's it, yeah, you're done.
You've got a spot on the sensor.
If you're photos, you can sometimes get away with that, spot removal and whatever, but as a video, yeah, the consequences of some of your actions can be, if something's out of focus and you film something for 45 minutes, do you know what I mean? Like it can
Shall we tell them?
if you want to.
This is the second time we've done this video. The first time was out of focus.
We sat for like an hour.
Yeah, so this is the second time. But anyway.
Yeah. We spoke totally differently about what we spoke the first time.
We did, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's just a bit more brutal. I really enjoy taking photos. I just feel I have to work harder when I'm doing video.
Yeah.
That may be different for other people. But yeah, I find video is harder.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, let's jump into some of your videos then. So, a while ago, you made your debut, I suppose, your short film debut, which was called Use the Love, wasn't it?
Yeah, Use the Love.
And if people want to see it, I'll link this, because in fact, you have to see it. It's a 10-minute film, is it? Just over 10 minutes.
10 minutes, 20.
And I'll link it in the description, and it's... Well, I won't tell too much about it, but if we just roll it, and we'll talk a little bit about it, and you can sort of tell us the plot.
Okay, James, very proud of you. Just want to say, go kick some butt, get cancer out of here, raise lots of money, love you lots.
Right, I'm going to stop it and we just won't play anymore.
Okay.
And we'll just do it that way, so that way I don't ruin anything. But yeah, it's basically about a really good friend of mine who his auntie suffered with a form of leukemia. I think it's leukemia, I keep saying, I'm sure it's leukemia, it was so long ago when we shot this. It's like a really rare form of it, and basically Jay wanted to raise some money for Bloodwise, the charity that was dealing with it, and raise some money for his auntie. So he wanted to. He's a kickboxer, and he wanted to box for 101 rounds continuously.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I basically followed him all the way through the training. I followed him through everything, and then he completed the challenge, and you just need to watch it and you'll see the rest. I think it took him, I'm sure he was boxing for like 4.5 hours continuously. Yeah, like Jay's hot, like I'm not being like macho, Jay's hard as nails.
Yeah. I've
been like, when we were filming, I didn't do some rounds with him, he just battered me basically. I wanted to experience it and I got schooled. He's hard as nails. It's a different kind of mental strength, and he was broken.
I think that's nice for him, because although he was the main subject, protagonist, whatever you want to call it, in the film, it's nice for him that as a cameraman or filmmaker, or you're documenting his life and his story. It's great for him, for you to jump into his world just for 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like I'm a huge MMA fan, and I watch it like religiously, and it was such a cool sort of experience to be like, oh, this is what it feels like, and that wasn't even like an iota of what they go through in there, but like being punched. He punched me on one of it was very mild sparring, and he hit me with a liver shot, and there was my brother and a few of our friends there to watch it, and I swear to God, I couldn't breathe. And it was such a weird feeling because he hit me and my legs just gave way.
Really?
And I was just wheezing on the floor for like 5 minutes and I couldn't breathe. And it was such a good experience while filming this, to sort of experience what they go through. And yeah, there's a shot towards the end of the film, I think it is, where Jay goes through the challenge and he passes his last round, and you see him drop to his knees and he can barely even spit his mouth guard out. He's so tired. Yeah. And it sort of falls out and there's blood, and yeah, it's worth watching just to open your eye. There's a lot of negativity in the world. Yeah. This was kind of part of the reason I wanted to film it, and it was just cool to spread a bit of light and show that there are good people about. There are cool people, good people, good-natured people in the world that want to do good things, and that was like a really good example of it. Like Jay doing that, and he raised a lot of money for that wicked cause.
Yeah. In terms of then, as the film progresses, we can see Jay getting interviewed against a really nice, calm backdrop of the lake. And I really like the way it juxtaposes, because I mean, some would call boxing and MMA quite a violent or quite an aggressive sport, and it's really nice to see a fighter be interviewed against something that's very calm.
Yeah, it was when I filmed. I followed Jay for about 9 months when we were filming it, and I filmed. I'm talking hours and hours of his training.
Yeah.
So much so that I had an external hard drive that's in my office, just on the side, just with his footage on. I filled up. It was like a terabyte's worth of footage.
Did you shoot everything in 4K?
Yes.
A large percentage.
Yeah, that's another story. Basically, I shot a lot of it in 4K, but my computer at the time, my Mac, just wasn't built to deal with 4K, and that was a problem. But yeah, it was just a lot of footage. And it was a real learning curve for me as well, because I was sort of really trying to get my head around, and I still am, colour grading and proper white balance. And like, you'll see in the grade, I hate the colour grade on it, because I'm just learning. On me again. Learning over that course of those 9 months about colour grading.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, I can't do it.
You wish that
if I could pay someone to colour grade my work, I would.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so bad at it. I just can't. I can't get my head around how it's done, and like, not to waffle on about gear too much, but Casey Neistat is now using a Canon 1DX Mark II, so it's like a $7,000 camera. But as soon as I saw it, that he'd swapped cameras, I can see that he swapped it, because the colours instantly pop.
Yeah.
And then I come back to my work and I look at it and I'm like, for the fucking... Like, it just doesn't... And the camera that I use is phenomenal. It's not to do with the camera, it's me. I just can't master it. And I've watched hours and hours of videos on it. And
do you think it's good as a filmmaker to be always questioning yourself? Or does it cripple you with...
I'd say it can be crippling. I'm really bad for... Like, I've got projects that have just never seen the light of day, because I'm just like, well, it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
And
that's mad. So you start to finish, you'll plan, you'll shoot, you'll edit, and
yeah, so like I really enjoy doing, if me and my girlfriend have got a day off work together, I'll film the whole day, and I'll do like a snippet of the day. So I've done loads of those.
Yeah.
Loads of them have never made it out, because
Really?
I'm just like, this just isn't good enough, and it makes me angry, and I have to put my cameras down for a few days, and then I have to pick them up a few days later. And
at what point do you get that feeling? Halfway through shooting, or when you've got it back on the computer?
When I'm back on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I always want things to be sharper. I want them to look better.
Yeah.
And it's just an unachievable. It's just not gonna. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I don't know. I'm my own worst critic. I'm the biggest critic all the time. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I always want better, but I'll never be happy. I'll never ever be happy.
Have you ever? I mean, I doubt this. You'll say yes to this, but have you ever had any bad feedback about your work?
Yeah. Well,
Really?
yeah, like.
From a client or from...
Yeah, there's been loads, and that's been a massive learning curve, that sometimes you have to listen to the client, and you have to listen to their ideas, and even when you think their ideas suck, because that happens, and you're like, this idea's crap, but they're paying, and it's what they want, so...
Exactly. Sometimes you've got to kind of listen to them and say, look, and this is how I do it, and if you don't want it, you might not get the job.
Yeah, it's one of those. Like, I did a small series of videos for a martial arts school in Kidderminster, Russell Perks Martial Arts School. Great bunch of guys, and they were training for a fight. So I did a little series following them. I don't know if I've ever shown you this. I did a little series of 4 videos following them before the fight.
Yeah.
And that was something I sort of finished it, and then watched it a few weeks later, and I was like, actually, I'm quite proud of this. This is quite like I like this, but that sort of, I'll watch it again and be like, oh, this colour's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can never really let it go. I'm bad with photos as well and stuff, and
yeah.
Yeah.
How quickly after the edit do you have those feelings? Immediately, or when you look at it?
It's really weird. So
later?
I edit in my office, and then I haven't got, and this is really unprofessional, and I need to sort it, I haven't got a colour calibrated monitor. Have you got one?
No.
No, I haven't got. I've just stitched you right up there. I could have just got away with it and said that I'm the unprofessional one. I've just.
It's out there now.
Yeah, I've just dragged him down.
No,
with me,
I've never
thrown him under the bus.
I've never felt the need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess with photos, it might not be as important, but with video, what I edit on that monitor in there, I always edit it on that.
Yeah.
And then I stick it on a USB, and then I stick it in my telly, and I watch it back on my telly, and I judge it from my telly and not from that, because I edit on a 5K monitor in there, and it makes everything. It sort of highlights all your faults.
It's like, unrealistic almost.
Yeah, like it highlights. And then when you watch it back on that telly, I'm like, oh, it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
That's like I've got a 4K telly there, and I sometimes watch it from a further back angle. Do you know what I mean? I'm sat in like a seat.
And that's how the majority of people will be watching it anyway.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, because I never upload it in 4K.
Yeah.
I always upload it in 1080 anyway or whatever. So yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm rambling, but yeah.
So, big question then, 4K versus 1080, full HD, where do you stand? Do you think filmmakers in the 21st century should be investing in 4K cameras?
No, I don't necessarily think it's, I'm not going to be like I can't stand these people that go, it's not about the gear, blah, 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 blah. Because I don't necessarily think that's true.
Yeah.
I think he's a genius. I think Peter McKinnon or Casey Neistat, they're all geniuses, but they're all going, it's not about the camera that you use. Ignore the fact that I've got a $7.5 camera and
their rig costs more than my car.
£1,300 lenses and stuff, and
yeah.
You don't need this. Well, why have you got it?
Yeah.
So you don't need it, but you couldn't film a wedding video on a Nokia 3210 or whatever had a camera on it then.
Yeah.
Give it to a client and go, it's not about the camera, guys. It's all about, do you know what I mean? Like the story's great. Because they're just not going to be. So I think it's all circumstantial and it's all different. I don't think you need to film in 4K. It helps because you've obviously got, if you film in 4K and then bang it on a 1080 timeline, you've got that crop.
Yeah, you can crop in what, 50%?
We filmed the wedding a couple of weeks ago. I filmed the speeches in 4K. I can crop in. Brilliant. It's not essential at all. And the way cameras work now, 1080p is great. It's not. All my slow mo's 1080p.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have it. Mm. And I work on sets when I work with other companies and they're shooting on red or
red cameras are ridiculous, aren't they?
I worked on a video and they were using an Alexa Mini and it was like, good lord.
What, a music video?
Yeah, and it was like, I'm sure they were shooting at like 60k 60 frames a second in RAW, and it was just like, good God, like the crispness in slow motion, and then you can go and edit with all that dynamic range and everything. But if you're just filming a completely naff story, then what good is all those amazing pixels?
And Casey's the king,
absolute king
of storytelling.
One of my favourite ever filmmakers.
Yeah.
I'd throw him in with. I'm talking filmmakers.
Yeah.
YouTube videos are small films, therefore I class him as a proper filmmaker.
He's so inspiring with his short, in terms of getting a message across, which is the whole point of a film, really. Film is all about the journey of people in the film. Yeah. Do they change? Don't they change? Does it make you change as a viewer? He's the king of the short film, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He is phenomenal. I think Peter McKinnon's really great as well. I think Peter McKinnon's possibly the best
aesthetic visual.
Yeah, and I think like at teaching things, he's so he feels like such an approachable dude and like a friend. Yeah. And then when it comes to storytelling, Casey Neistat is just unrivaled as far as I'm concerned.
He's just brilliant, isn't
like
he?
The OG of it. He's just
He's just full of ideas, full of.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He is incredible.
Yeah. No, he's. So in terms of YouTube, then, who do you watch? Who do you get inspired by apart from those two? So
if we're talking wedding stuff. Matt Johnson, so his website's whoismatt.com, and I don't know, so it's Matt Johnson. I can't think what his YouTube channel's called. I think it might be more Matt Johnson. He's a wedding dude, the best out there for me. He's incredible. Yeah. It helps that he shoots Sony, I shoot Sony, so that's a plus, but he's phenomenal. And then another guy that I've sometimes referenced is a guy called Craig Adams, who I don't think he still does it, but used to do something called Wedding Film School. And the way I'd sort of look at them is, Matt Johnson is that put his arm around you and he'll tell you it's going to be okay, don't worry about it, we can get through it. Craig Adams is a bit more of a bitch slap. This is how it's done. So it's two different learning methods, but they're both equally, they're great. And I always look at their work and I always just want to go and burn my camera and just be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do it. But they're brilliant. And then, you've got like your Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon, big fans. I also really like, there's 2 guys that I follow, or 3 guys that I follow. You've got Creative Ryan, I don't know if you're aware of him.
Yeah.
YC Imaging is another guy. And I think his name's Joe Moore is the other one. They're 3 guys that I follow. It's not in my line of work necessarily, but they're great. Really like what they're about. Anyone that motivates me to go and just like boot Monday morning's head in, I'm game with.
I met Joe Allen at the photography show.
Oh yeah.
In Birmingham. He's a nice fella. I'm not sure if any of his footage actually made it into any of his vlogs, but he's always around the world somewhere. He's quite. He seems to be doing very well. He's over 100,000.
Yeah, he's the dude only at the start of his videos.
Yeah. So I think video for me is one day, if not already, more important than photography.
Yeah.
I think it's something that you need to, as a photographer, be not dismissive of.
Yeah.
I think so many photographers are stuck in the dark ages.
Yeah.
And hate the new gear that's coming along.
Yeah.
Hate the 4K. They hate all the IBIS and the stabilization because they know what they like, what they've got. It works. They might have to name one camera, the 5D Mark 1, because why would you ever need a better camera than that? Which is a decent argument, but...
Yeah, I'm going to do a weird Alex Ferguson analogy here. You were talking about people that are like dinosaurs and stuck in their sort of way. Alex Ferguson was the manager, excuse the football again, but Alex Ferguson was the manager of Manchester United for
26 or something years, wasn't he?
And he was at the top of his game for a vast majority of those years. And the reason he was because he kept adapting to the modern game, changing, so his tactics would change. He didn't stick with the same 4-4-2 formation and the same 4-4-2 philosophy for 26 years.
Yeah.
He saw that the game was changing, it was becoming more about athletes and not just footballers, and
How to talk to people.
Players were becoming quicker, the technology of the ball was changing, so it meant that the ball would move at a different speed, so different phases of play would happen at different times. So instead of being a dinosaur and going, I'm not changing, this is going to work, he changed with the game, which meant that he could progress and stay at the top of his game throughout while the game was changing as well. So when you've got photographers that are like, 4K and image stabilisation and gimbals and bleh.
Don't be Arsene Wenger.
Yeah,
be
exactly. There you go. Like, exactly
Yeah.
that. That's kind of how I'd sort of look at it. And it can be. They can definitely be detrimental. Some of these things. The whole 4K thing. It's not vital. It isn't vital. You can still tell the same story if it's 4K or if it's. That doesn't necessarily. So I think I became really guilty of that when it came to do with gear and stuff. We're going to run out of battery on here, but anyway. Where I was like, I need this bit of gear because there's been reviews on it and it's amazing, and I sort of had to stop myself and go, is it going to make me better at what I want to do? Is it actually going to make me better? And the answer was always no. So it's only in the last 18 months I've got what I need, stop buying shit.
Yeah.
Just because people, gear acquisition syndrome.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a guy I follow on YouTube called Jason Vong.
Yeah, I know him, yeah.
Sony dude. And he just buys fucking everything. Every time a new camera comes out, he's like, need it. Yeah, gotta have it. And it's like, is that making you a better photographer or videographer, or are you just buying it because it's new?
And you can get the views.
Yeah.
When you review it.
Yeah, 100%. So I've sort of had to rein it in. I'm really happy with my gear, and it's me that needs to get better, not my gear.
Yeah, it's fair enough. So again, back to basically your filmmaking then. So what I imagine some people watching this will be thinking is, what do you do? So apart from the wedding stuff that we do together, what other projects do you do, and how can people watching this who are thinking about going into video, what can people literally do?
Just film everything.
Yeah.
Film. So I do quite a bit of corporate work. What have I got at the moment? So I've got a wedding edit that I'm finishing at the moment, which is a beast, which is taking quite a long time. I'm doing a promotional piece for a dog grooming company. Yeah. A local dog grooming company. Absolute bunch of legends, heroes. Loved a lot of them. Really enjoy working with them. So I've done a sort of day in the life video and tied it in to make it a promotional piece as well.
I'm just thinking of dog puns right now. You could walk in there, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah.
Been a bit rough this morning. Go on.
Yeah, so that's another piece I'm doing. I've got a... I'm trying to think of I've got a board with all my work written on in there. Christian Fletcher, wedding magician. He's absolutely wicked. Doing a promotional piece for him at the moment.
Cool.
There's a hair salon place that I'm doing some work for. I'm trying to think.
So you do
quite a wide variation of work. Yeah, I wouldn't like pigeonhole myself as one sort of.
And I think one thing about you is you're not scared to reach out to businesses and say, I don't know if you do pitch it like this, but look, your social media is not very good. I can make it better.
Yeah, sort of.
Do you ever do that sort of thing?
Yeah, sort of like, because I've done a lot of work with a local martial arts school, and that was brilliant. And I did a lot of promotional video. I did a lot of videos for them. I think they do 11 different classes, and I did a different video per class.
Cool.
And that was great. And yeah, I don't necessarily know because social media has changed so much. I don't know the algorithm side of things and the ergonomics and the SEO and all that sort of stuff, because that's just massive. And it's something I've looked into going on a business course to learn about. But I know what I think looks like a cool picture or a cool video.
Yeah.
Try and meet them in the middle with that. But yeah, for me, some people will go, I only do weddings. And I must admit, it would be pretty cool to go, I just do weddings, and instead of becoming, jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Sort of just picking weddings and being like, right, I'm just going to be shit at weddings. I like to keep my fingers in all the pies.
Yeah.
And I just feel that I learn more by doing that. I learned how important lighting was doing the martial arts stuff, because it was such a poorly... I couldn't manipulate the light. There were LED strips over there, and that was it. So I just had to work with what I've got.
Yeah.
Whereas we shot a wedding last week, and on the dance floor, for the first time ever, I took my own lights, and I can't even begin to tell you the difference, and it's something I'll do from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. I think like lighting for you must be the one thing you can't control.
Yeah, it's only in the last not even 18 months. It's only in the last probably 18 months I've understood the importance of lighting.
Yeah.
And
are you starting to factor in more?
I think it was because when I started, so many YouTubers going, it's lighting's so important. I used to be like, oh fucking alright, pipe down. And I sort of went, nah, and I'm really bad for that as a person. When I was at school, people were like, need to check out Metallica. Metallica are amazing. I was like, oh, fucking leave it out. I'll check them out eventually. Yeah. And then, I still haven't really listened to them. I'm not a massive Metallica fan. But anyway, like, lighting, I sort of kept batting it off and be like, yeah, all right, I'll fucking have a look at it in a bit. And then it's only when I started to look into it, I was like, Jesus Christ, why didn't I fucking listen?
Yeah.
Because lighting is the biggest thing. And like, if I'm working on a job and I can't manipulate the light, it makes me like, oh fuck. So yeah,
that's when having decent gear comes into its own.
Yeah, that's when. I shoot with an A7S Mark II Sony. You can see in the dark.
How's the ISO performance on that?
It's a joke. Yeah, it's so good.
Really good.
Yeah, and then I haven't got, but you can buy noise cancelling software.
Yeah.
So you can, and those two together, it's just like you can shoot whatever. But having your own lighting does make a world of difference.
So do you try to use as much natural light as possible when you shoot weddings?
Yeah, I'm a big natural light guy. And for photos especially, I love natural light.
Yeah.
In my hallway, we've got a light at the end of my hallway, and different parts of the day, it sort of casts such a wicked light onto like the flooring.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'll be walking down the stairs and I'm like, I need to take a picture of something there, just because it looks so cool.
Yeah, you can put anything in that spot of light and it will look really cool.
Yeah.
I was... like we were saying before off camera, it's really interesting how majority of photographers and a lot of people that I know, probably you're the same, who prefer natural light to shoot in, which we don't have control of, and we panic when we have to use artificial light, which we do have control of.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time we put all our eggs in one basket and we forget how to use the light that we should be knowing how to use.
Yeah.
And when that available light, or what you call that, ambient light is gone, we panic because we probably didn't put enough effort into learning how to use.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't stress the importance of lighting enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've wasted the last 18 months not paying more attention to it. It is massive.
Yeah.
I still don't get it. I still don't fully understand it,
Yeah.
but it's huge. It's massive. It's massive. Yeah.
And it's trendy right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
But natural light wedding portraits are big.
Yeah. I think as well, I don't think I'll ever be like because I really enjoy, I'm not just video. I do really enjoy photos as well, and I've got like wedding bookings for photos this year and next year, but I don't think I'll ever be like an off-camera flash guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too nervous about fucking it up anyway.
Yeah.
That just throwing those into the mix is just...
Well, I'm thinking of going down the continuous light route. I'm really considering it.
So is that, you'd have a light on the camera that's all just a light non-stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
So literally, light your lights that you would light up a dance floor with. I'd have a decent continuous light on the face or the body of whoever I'm shooting. And the good thing is that you know what that shot's going to look like through the back of the camera or through the viewfinder.
Yeah.
Because you can see it rather than relying on how the flash is going to hit your subject.
Yeah.
So that is, I don't know if that's the way forward. Again, the dinosaurs amongst everybody would say, no, we could never do that.
Yeah.
Whereas people like, I watch Jason Lanier quite a lot, and he's very pro continuous LED. He says it's the way to go. It's a lot easier and it's a lot more straightforward. It's a lot softer as well, but it kills your battery life. So again, that's something you'll probably have to think about. But anyway, I'm going off piste a little bit. But just before we go, I wanted to just have a look at something that you always do for your wedding clients, which is a teaser, a wedding 1 minute, 2 minute teaser.
What do you want to do? Which one do you want to go for? Got the most recent one there?
Yeah, let's have a look at the most recent one. So when you do a wedding, what's your go-to edit style? Highlights or...
So yeah, so I'll take handmade media as an example, like that, what we do. I do a 1 minute social media teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Just perfect for banging online, and then the client can show their friends, family, whoever. Then about 4 to 6 weeks after they're married, I try and do it quicker than that, but I also won't rush it for the sake of rushing it. I give them between 10 and 15 minutes generally, a highlight video of the whole day. I know people do like 45-minute videos and stuff, and I'm just like, fucking hell, like...
It's a bit much.
Well, for me, this could be me, and the other companies, you do what you want to do, but they could be looking at me going, well, he's clearly an amateur. I don't feel like I could create a 45-minute video that is 45 minutes of good footage. I could create 45 minutes of half-decent B-roll, but no one wants to see someone eating their duck à l'orange in 120 frames a second. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one
you tell Peter McGinnon that.
Like, no, but no one. I don't need to. You don't want to watch your auntie eating a piece of a roaster in 120 frames a second. It's to me. It's just it's putting it there for the sake of it. I'd rather create a 10 to 15 minute really good video of all the best parts of the day put together.
Yeah.
I like to combine music. I like to combine audio of the day, so the speeches or the ceremony. Bang it all together. Create a really good token of the day. I want to capture what the day was like for that. So we did a video that was we did a wedding. 2017. That was like a festival theme. Remember? The Masons, and it was in a. They had like a marquee and stuff, and then on the evening the band played, and it was like, what was it like? It was
soul, Motown.
Yeah, soul and Motown sort of music. So I gave them an edit that had soul and Motown music on the edit, and it worked really well. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's very easy. Again, no offense, everyone's each to their own. The whole acoustic twindly guitar to start with, and then like the
harp, Titanic song,
and
like harp.
And even like the whole what they call walk the moon.
Yeah.
And
shut up and dance with me.
What's the one where I can't know what they're called. Basically your standard, your Ed Sheerans and your that sort of stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not something that I want to produce. I always want to produce work that I'm proud of, and I wouldn't. It's not for me. I'm not saying I'm edgy or different or anything like that, but I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna make my client put his jacket on 15 times until I get the right shot. I'm gonna film you putting your jacket on. If you put your arm through the wrong hole and you fluff it up, I'm gonna get that on film, and you're gonna get it because that's what happened. I don't know, because I'm getting married myself soon, and I've got someone filming my day. I wouldn't be able to look back on that video of me knowing I've had to put that jacket on 15 times. Do you know what I mean? If I put my arm in the wrong hole, oh well, like,
because the chances are by the time that final edit makes it in, you probably have a face on you like,
for the love of fucking God,
yeah.
I just want to get back to the dance floor and enjoy my time with my friends. So
yeah,
it's very much a candid approach. And I'm going to film what happened on the day. I'm not going to force you to. Yeah, we'll probably go and do some portrait shots and we'll have a walkabout together. But I'm not going to make you. Do you know what I mean? Like, do something that didn't happen on the day.
You're not. What's his name? What's the guy who directed The Shining? Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Apparently, famously made Tom Cruise walk up to the gap, eyes wide shut. You seen that film? That bit's a bit of a 13-year-old's wet dream. But there's a scene where he had to walk up to a gate. Apparently, he made him do it all day or all night. It was a night shot until he got the right shot. It was a wide anyway, so you couldn't even see him.
No,
and I just think,
I don't know. It's...
Mate, what? Apart from to literally break the spirit of your actors or your whoever's in the, what good are you getting from that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I just take it as a look from my personal point of view, and I wouldn't want to have to.
It's documentary style. What you do,
that's literally a candid documentary.
It's not manipulated.
Nah, it's not a wedding. It is a wedding film, but there's no actors. I'm not making people act. They're just doing what they did. They're just doing what they're doing. So yeah, and I love it.
Let's have a look at this 1 minute film then, or however long it is, and let's just.
This is a long shot. So this was a wedding we did a couple of weeks ago. That's loud. So like the music, it felt like it matched the day.
Yeah.
Because it's an online teaser, it's written into the contract. That sounds terrible. It's not written into the contract, but I state in the contract that the online teaser, I'll choose the music. Because I need a product that I can use to sell to future potential clients.
Yeah.
Jess and Kev, batteries died. Jess and Kev were, it was very much, what would you call it, like a punkish?
Yeah, punk rock
wedding. If I try and sell a product with punk rock music on it, I'm instantly going to shut off loads of potential clients. Whereas if I use music that still represents the day, but is a little bit more marketable, everyone's a winner, everyone's still happy. And then the full piece that I give to the customers, the clients, that will have music that they want. So for example, Foo Fighters, it's music that they want on there. So yeah, that's kind of an approach I take with it.
Yeah, it's clever because other people will see that, and especially if it's only 1 minute or 2 minutes, whatever it is. People, the ease of sharing it, especially on Facebook these days.
Yeah.
The ease of getting other people to sell your business for you is so much better than paying Facebook for 8 people to see.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Facebook for business is terrible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely awful. You've got more chance Instagram. You might as well start a YouTube channel because Facebook.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Facebook for business is terrible. The other way around.
On its arse.
But getting people to share, create that 1 minute, and while there's a bit of heat around the wedding, I mean that was done within 3-4 days or something, wasn't it?
About 3 or 4 days, and then you've got people still riding high off the wedding. The couple, they got loads of traction because people were still sort of, I don't want to use the word, buzzing off the wedding sort of thing, and then it sort of captured what we did on the day, and
In terms of your favourite lenses as a filmmaker, then for your video stuff, what are your go-to lenses?
So I've had a lot of different lenses, stupidly, and now I think I'm set. I've got a 16mm, which is what we're filming this on now, Sigma, which is for the crop sensors. So I use it on an A6500.
Yeah.
I haven't got a bad word to say about it. It's what f1.4. Don't very often film at f1.4 because it's an absolute bitch to get anything focused.
Yeah.
I'm like a f2.8, 3.2 kind of guy. 55mm, 1.8 Zeiss. Expensive. I haven't got any a bad word to say about it. So sharp, super versatile, big fan of that lens. And then I've got an 85mm f1.8, which is like the lowest. I think they do like 3 variations of that lens for Sony. It's the cheapest of the 3. I watched loads of comparison videos, and they couldn't really pick them apart. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to take a chance on the cheapest one. The only problem with it is that for photography, it's a bitch for like purple fringing.
Is it?
Oh my God. So when I take a photo, I instantly have to go straight into and just drag my purples down.
Really?
It's really weird, really strange. But other than that, and obviously I don't really get that same sort of problem with my filming. But yeah, I had a 70 to 200 and I sold it. It was an F4. I kind of regret selling it.
Really?
Yeah, I do. And I'll probably get one again in the future. I shoot Sony, and I know a lot of people use a Metabones adapter and use Canon lenses, and the Canon lenses are so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So it is something that I think I'll look into and maybe switch to Canon lenses. But nothing in the immediate future. The only thing I want to get, I've just seen that Sigma are doing Sony a whole range of FE lenses.
And
I
that's
think
music to your ears.
I want to get a 35mm.
Yeah.
And then I feel like 16, 35, 55, 85. I feel like that's a good.
Are
I'm
they-
definitely a Prime fan.
Art series, are they the art?
It's Sigma Art, yeah. So
you'll be laughing.
I think it's only like 600 quid.
Yeah,
So-
those Sigma lenses are like a third of the price of the Canon
Yeah.
and Nikon Primes, but they're so good.
So I think it's a bit of a no-brainer, and I
Yeah.
think I'll have to pick one of those up next year. Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we've got time for time on the channel. So what have you got coming up for the rest of the year? Are you a busy man?
Yeah. So, well, firstly, I should probably say I get married in July.
Are you sure?
Yeah, July. Yeah, it is July. June. It's because June and July next to each other. That's funny. July 27th.
Same every year.
Yeah. And it's on the date of my anniversary as well, so I should probably...
You should, yeah.
10-year anniversary, I should do.
We'll cut that bit.
Yeah, I love you, Joe. Yeah, so, yeah, getting married, and then I'm about to start filming my next short film, which is, I'm hoping to have it released for Father's Day, which is about, like, having a kid and raising a child and everything, but from a dad's point of view. I feel like there's tons of coverage on, like, raising a child through... I don't know if it's tons of coverage, but like there's a lot of focus on mums and stuff.
Yeah.
And I want like a warts and all opinion and stories from dads. So I've got a group of dads. I was going to start shooting last month, but one of the dads, I'll tell you who it is. It was my friend Clark.
Yeah.
But unfortunately he's signed to a record label, so I can't film him. Which is a shame because he's got a little girl and he's a great dad. But whatever, so I've had to sort of jiggle a few things around, and we're going to start hopefully filming next month. And yeah, hopefully that'll be out. When's Father's Day? It's like
Mid-June, isn't it? Early June?
So, Christ, I haven't got long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to have to try and crack on and hopefully
Brilliant.
have that out in time. And yeah, that's it.
And you're going to aim for about a 10-minute?
10-minute short film, yeah. Just trying to write out my B-roll sections at the moment. Not quite sure how to knit it all together.
Yeah.
And then lots of weddings with my good friend Andrew Maguire.
Hello. So, should we call it a day?
Yeah, I feel
I need to have a lie down in a dark room now after all these battery failures and
You
all
have
these.
no idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I've learned a lot about.
You could have
these
its own
interviews.
video series on just filming this. We're going to need counselling. We're going to need therapy. Probably not going to speak to each other ever again.
No, I don't think we will.
But
I think we've managed to get it. I think we have. Mate, that doesn't say recording. No, I'm joking. Right. So.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Cheers, Tom. Nice
Thank
one
you
for
very
coming on the channel. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Tell your friends.
It's just going to burn my face off.
It'll be hot.
Okay. Right, straight away I think I know. Straight away I've got it. Oh no, I've changed my mind. I don't want to burn my... Okay, I'm almost 100%. I'm just going to have one more try.
How can I express?
That's a face melter, literally. Right, I'm happy to announce that in my right hand is decaffeinated and in my left hand is caffeine coffee. Can you please put me out of my misery?
Correct.
Yes!
Correct.
I thought so.
What makes you, what is it that just...
I think this smells more familiar. And that smells a little weaker. That's all I can say. It just smells a little bit less fragrant.
There you go.
There you go. I can't really put my finger on it.
There you go.
Yeah.